In the still of the night, I think of you. My heart beats with every thought of you. You're the one I can't let go. In your arms I find my home. Love, sweet love, it's you I'm dreaming of. Every moment with you feels like a gift from above. Forever and always, you're the one I adore. In your love I find my forevermore. Find my forevermore, the more. Through every storm, you're my guiding light. In your eyes I see the stars align. With you I'm whole, with you I'm complete. In your love my heart finds its beat. Love, sweet love, it's you I'm dreaming of. Every moment with you feels like a gift from above.
Get ready with me while I tell you the story of how I married my husband while only knowing him for 3 months. Now, before you start judging me, let me tell you something. You know when you know. Like, when I met this man, my entire family was like, holy cannoli, this guy might be the one. And we all kind of realized this when my mom was completely open with my now husband, because my mom is a really closed off person. Like, you have to win her over. But with my husband, she was just completely open. It was as if they had known each other for a long time. And obviously, I wasn't going to just marry this guy after only knowing him for a little bit of time. Like, he had to convince me too. But the thing is, we just both wanted the same things. That's what really brought us together. Our dreams were both very aligned, and we just didn't want to waste time. Like, we were just both very centered, and we were at a point in our life where we were just like, why are we going to waste more time? Mind you, at this point, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew my expectations. I had my list of 3s, and he was checking off all of those lists that I had. Like, I was very like, no, this is what I want. If you don't have that, thank you, next. But what really got me was how well we worked together in making decisions. And I'm talking about financial decisions, because let's be honest, that is the root and the cause of a lot of divorces. It's finances. And we inspired people. Right after we got married, the 2 couples that were there at our wedding got married 2 months after, to say the least. And that should mean something, because that's how impactful we are to people. We are very influential because we're very mature in the things that we want, and we are always setting the example. I have no regrets into marrying this man. And whenever someone wants to tell me their opinion about my decision, at the end of the day, it was my decision, and I'm accomplishing everything I want with my husband. It has been such a blessing. So don't let anybody else's opinions affect your decisions.
As you guys know, I met my husband December 28th, and January 1st, we was like, let's do it. February, told our pastors, immediately they was like, yes, this is from God. March 1st, we got married. But what a lot of people don't know is what the Lord did for 2 months. For me, he prepared me for like 8+ years for. And so, like, as I'm sharing this journey and my story time with you guys, I don't want to come off as the fact that, yeah, I just pray fast and be in position he come. No, like, pray fast and prepare at the same time. My story has a lot of spiritual warfare. My story has a lot of spirit spouses. My story has a lot of demonic altars. My story has a lot of just demonic things that we had to take care of, okay, because I had to get my man. So, yeah, I guess we're going to start, like, this testimony series things, and I really just want to share with the girls, share with the guys, like, how the Lord did it, what the Lord did, what it took, and, yeah, if you're not in love with the Lord, go ahead and just skip the testimony series, girl. Go ahead and just act like he won't come out of nowhere. If you're not really ready to be disciplined and consistent with the Lord, if you're not ready to go through deliverance, go ahead and skip this. This not for you. If you're not ready to apply the Bible, go ahead and skip this. This ain't for you. But if you're about that life, if you're really ready to make a change in your bloodline, then this testimony series will be for you. Yeah, I'm at work now, so this is just a quick hello, and yeah. testimony series has started, so let's get into it. This testimony is how the Lord had mercy on me and allowed me to meet my husband. Underneath 3 months, we got married, okay? Just by faith. Just the Lord saying that he the one. Just by she the one, we ain't gonna play with it. Snatch her up. Focus. Okay, so this part of testimony series is gonna focus on submission. I was Muslim and I gave my life to Christ back in 2017. In 2017, when I gave my life to Christ, the Lord led me to this church, and I went to this church all the way up to 2022. I was very submitted there. I was in a dance ministry there, and it was just a beautiful thing. The Lord revealed some things, and unfortunately, the church had to get shut down. When the church got shut down, I was experiencing spiritual warfare. I was seeing like shadows on in my room, on my walls. Like how you see me is how I was seeing those shadows. Very demonic atmosphere. Like I couldn't sleep, I couldn't rest because I could feel the presence of hell in my room. You hear me? So I hit up my girl and I was like, listen, like I can't be in this apartment, I can't rest or anything because there's demons up here trying to beat me up. And at that point I was a scaredy cat. Listen. So she was like, listen, I know this church called Army of God. They focus on deliverance, spiritual warfare and things like that. So I hit them up. I wasn't even waiting to the next program. So I hit them up on Instagram and I was like, listen, I'm going through spiritual warfare. What's up? And they was like, please come over, So I came over crying, girl, shaking because I was scared if I was going to be somebody else that wasn't on fire for God, or a leader that was going to do something sneaky behind closed doors and it affect me. Girl, come to find out those people was on fire and serious for God. They did deliverance. I was crying. They helped me wipe my tears, fed me some jollof rice, fed me some broccoli, and to this day I'm underneath that ministry. I started going to that church and I believe I heard the Lord tell me to leave the church. So I left the church. When I left the church, the first lady called me. She was like, hey, we haven't seen you. I hope everything's okay. And I was like, I believe the Lord is telling me to leave the church. And they was like, okay, we hope to see you. You're always welcome. So I left the church and was on my own for 7 months. Girl was going crazy. Why? Listen, if there's a church that God called you to, a church that that's getting you to point A to point B, stay submitted. Sit down somewhere. Stop being so offended. Girl, get it together. This is your life we're talking about. So I was so sad because I left the church and got beat up even more, right? Because the covering that was covering me was lifted because I left underneath the covering and I was definitely getting beat up the more. So left the church, was getting beat up so much to the point that after a year of leaving the church, or close to a year of leaving the church, I would say about 8-9 months, I went back to the church. The first day I went back to the church and they prayed for me, I was crawling on the floor, demons talking out of me saying she's not gonna be let go, no, doing all these things. If I find a video, I promise I'm gonna insert it. I promise y'all I'm gonna make another video showing you my deliverance. Let me tell y'all what the pastor said. My apostle don't be having no filter. He just gotta tell you the truth. That's one of the reasons why I'm delivered now. He said, Nimota, where you been? We haven't seen you in this is after church, after deliverance and everything. He's like, where you been? We haven't seen you. I was like, oh, Apostle, I've been in my prayer closet. And, I just felt led, not to come to church. He was like, you see what happens? You see what happens? Now you crawling on the floor. You know what I mean? And it's true. So many times we leave the place that God keep us at for a reason, to feed us, to, do things that we don't have the grace to do. And we just leave it because of offense or pride or because we feel like we got it and end up still needing help because you're not meant to do this walk alone, especially when you haven't even reached the grace to even do half the stuff you want to do. The walk is so much easier when you submit yourself underneath an anointing that the Lord places over you, So anyway, girl, to this day, I'm at the same church. To this day, I'm testifying because I stayed at the same church. So when we're talking about, the Lord did something in 3 months, we have to see what's the requirements that the Lord requires from us. He's not requiring us to be all outside, legs open, doing what we want to do. And when I say legs open, doing what we want to do, I'm talking about legs open spiritually. And what do I mean by that? When I say your legs open spiritually, I'm talking about you just you just open to any spiritual thing. You're open to watching prophets online. They ain't got no teacher. You're open to 10-30 churches. You're open to finding things and looking at TikToks about Nephilims, but you're not able to go to the Sunday church and serve and be submitted and be underneath the shepherds that the Lord has for you that can help you get to where you need to go for the glory of God, So this part of the testimony series was just solely about submission, how submissions kicked everything off when it came to this testimony. And I'm so glad that I submitted to the church. So, yes, you guys, testimony series is going to be a series of me being full, frank, honest with you. Like, this is what the Lord did. Yes, he brought my husband December 27th and February 4th. We was at the court, okay, saying, yes, I do. Yes, we will. Listen, you know, but there was a lot of things that happened before that man and guy got here, you know, and there was a lot of things that I had to go through before the man and guy got here. So, yes, we would still talk about the spirit spouses. We would still talk about, you know, the altars, demonic altars, times that I've been dragged out of my bed at 4 a.m. by an invincible force. We would still talk about everything, but it all starts with me submitting to this church, and that's how I had to start the testimony series. So more to come. I'll probably drop part 2 tonight because let's get through it. Let's know what happened, sis, okay? Bye. See y'all soon.
Story time of how I met my husband and got engaged in 3 months. So for this story to really make sense, I have to give you guys a little backdrop on me and where I was. I was about 22, 23, graduated college and stuff, preparing to go to law school. Super heartbroken. I was a mess, y'all. I went from situation to situationship that was just so terrible. I went through one that was really, really bad to the point where like I cut off all my hair, went bald, vowed myself to celibacy, like the whole 9 yards. I was also very much so in my these men ain't ish, if you not giving me money, flying me out, doing this and that, like having tangible benefit in my life, stay all the way away from me. So I was kind of just like looking at men as if like they're just some kind of like utility. Like, what is your purpose in my life? The thing is though, I've always been a lover girl. I was always that girl that always desired being a wife, a mother. Like that has always been something that I've truly, truly desired, like God put in my heart. But I kept on running into just nonsense men where it kind of just made me feel like I just had to settle for situationships and for people who just weren't worth my time, just for the time being. The truth of the matter is that I was not healed myself, and so obviously I was attracting and entertaining unhealed men. And then on top of that, I was dealing with a lot of things in my personal life and at home and stuff, and also kind of used men as a way to like escape from all of that. So just a mess. So in comes spring of 2020, it's peak COVID. I'm kind of bored, so I'm just like, let me get on the dating apps and see what's going down. So I get on Bumble, ended up connecting with this one older gentleman who was like in his early 40s. I helped him move into his like skyrise condo. We went on a trip internationally together, fine dining, all that jazz. And it was cool and fun for the time being, but I wasn't like, this wasn't my husband, you know? I was just dating for the sake of dating. I decided to take another gap year before starting law school, and this gap year was gonna be done in Spain. So I applied for this program to go teach English in Spain. So the thing about me, I always believe that I am single until there is a ring on my finger. So me dating this man wasn't gonna pull me down or like tie me down to anywhere. In fact, before like 2 weeks prior to leaving off to go to Spain, I went back on Bumble just to kind of see what's going down. And that's when I randomly connected with my husband one random Friday night. I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to finish out this story in part 2.